This is the Mill Hill School Building Committee special meeting on October 28th at 6 p.m. being held, on the voice-only conference call center. I am Tom Quinn, the chairman, and we are about to start the meeting. We will open with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to go right to the invoices. The meeting today is really to approve stuff that we have been doing, so that everybody knows either Melanie or Jason, plus myself, have been involved on virtually any major decision. The ones that we had to approve for timing, we did. And now we're bringing them to the committee. Invoices, however, are very minimal for this meeting. A total of $23,643.26. You all got a copy from Mark, and Collier's was $14,735.81. Hearst Media, $715.20. Tescom, $6,453. And Van Zelm, $1,739.25. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Jason. Second? Do I have a second, please?
Sure, seconded, Heather.
Okay, Heather, thank you. Welcome, Heather.
Hi.
Hi, it's
Thank
Norm.
you.
I dialed in late, too, Tom. You were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, okay. Hey, good, Norm. Good. So we've got 6 members here on board. Harry obviously is not with us yet. So we're in good shape. The total invoice package that's been approved, or not approved, but motion to approve. Do you have any questions from the committee on them? They're all very run-of-the-mill expenses. Any questions at all?
I presume it's all within budget, Tom?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay. Sounds good.
All in budget and within our estimates.
Okay.
What was the reason for using Hearst this time?
Oh my God! You're not going there again, are you?
This is for the third rebid of the glass and glazing, or the second rebid of the glass and glazing.
Second rebid, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Any other comments? Not hearing any else. Offer for approval. All of those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay, authorization to approve. Okay, we've got quite a few of them. A number of them we did is in our separate meetings. Some just had to happen. There's a total of $164,556. A number of them, the big ones, are allowances and built into the GMP, so they are within our budget. But let's go through one at a time. Mark or Rob, do you want to talk to the permanent power fees and the additional conduit for $20,000?
Yeah. So, Mark, I can speak to that. It's Rob.
Yep.
So what that represents is Ferguson Electric's cost. There's 2 parts of it. There's the UI fee to they charge us for the cables they have to install, and then the second part of it is a Ferguson cost because of the way we made some revisions to the routing of the power. So there's additional conduit that Ferguson Electric has to install. That's the majority of the cost. The UI portion is less and the smaller of the two numbers.
Okay. So that is not in the budget. That's over. The plan will come out of our contingency. Correct,
so
Mark?
the Ferguson Electric, both of those parts for Ferguson Electric, the $20,000 total, that is coming out of GMP allowance. That's part of Ferguson's contract.
Oh, okay. You got it in the allowance. Okay.
Yep.
Good. I stand corrected. Okay. Second part, fluorescent light duct sanitation, UV light is what we call it. Melody, did you want to talk to this? Where is she?
I'm here. Sorry, I was unmuted. I mean, I think there was a need to make a decision quite timely. So there was evidence that the UV filters would provide not only potential protection against COVID, but more importantly, just overall better air quality for the students down the road. It, as was discussed on the last call, can kill bacteria in the air, correct?
That's correct. What I was concerned about originally was, is can you cover enough people and kids and teachers? And I was corrected on that by our architects, who says it is part of the fresh air system, so therefore will reach everybody in the school. And at that point, I'm more than amenable to it. It's another way of keeping the kids and our staff healthy. And so, I'm all in favor of spending the $49,000, which...
And I think it's important to highlight that it was in the GMP. It's not an additional amount of money.
That's right. It was an allowance. Correct. All right. Can I have... let's go back a minute and have a motion to approve all the ATPs. Okay, and then...
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Yep, seconded, Heather.
Okay. All right. Questions on the first two that we discussed from the committee? Okay. Go on to the third one. You want to talk to that one? That's a minimal one, Rob. The 751. The coring.
Yeah, sorry, Tom, can you just tell me which one you're looking at?
I'm looking at the coring that we did.
ATP 15 or OS 15.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so that is for what we ended up doing in the south existing wing of the school is to try to investigate the water issues that we were seeing in the existing school. We cored 4 cores in 2 locations in the existing classrooms to be able to monitor and see if we were getting groundwater seeping up through those cores. To date, we have not observed any groundwater coming up through those cores.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That was only 750?
Yep, correct.
That wasn't bad.
No, it's just labor for just to go in and take those 4 core samples.
Okay. What about the next one, which is ATP 16, the over-excavation unsuitable oils?
Yep, so that's at the kindergarten edition. As we were excavating for the foundation work, putting in the footings in the foundation walls, GeoInsight, who was the geotechnical consultant on site, observed some unsuitable soils. Basically, it's like topsoil or it's old vegetation typically. So it's not contaminated, but there were unsuitable soils they don't like to see under the footings, under the structural part of the building. So they direct us to over-excavate that material and replace it with stone.
Okay. All right. How about the next one when we have the kindergarten and courtyard revision?
Yep. So at the kindergarten courtyard, there was discussions and a sketch issued where the original design had topsoil and sidewalks through the courtyard. We eliminated the topsoil in the grass and installed basically concrete with a design to it. So basically there's going to be like a solar system looking kind of concrete pad in lieu of the topsoil and grass.
Yeah, one of the reasons we did that, and the primary reason, is the maintenance on the topsoil and the grass in a center courtyard, which was hard to reach. So it was not a very feasible design. So we want to go to a hard thing on concrete. The next one is the rock removal.
Yeah, so at the music edition, when we were excavating for the footings and foundation walls and also for the relocated fire main, we encountered rock. We were anticipating potentially encountering rock, so similar to the UV lights and the UI permit costs, we carried a GMP allowance. This is the authorization to utilize that GMP allowance to pay our site work contractor for the rock that was removed.
Yeah, that was our site work allowance. Actually, was $60,000. This was $63,000, so it was a pretty good estimate.
Yep.
Okay. The last one is the excavation for permanent power.
Yeah. So this goes back to, this is part 2 of the Ferguson cost, but it's not a Ferguson electric cost. This is the cost from our site work contractor to excavate and backfill for the added conduits. So as part of the permanent power, we revised the routing of the permanent power, so we had to add conduits, and then also in order to install those conduits, we needed additional excavation and backfill.
Okay.
So we don't have an allowance, a GMP allowance for this portion of the work, but it's expected based on where we are with the total allowance cost that's assigned to Ferguson, that, as the project completes, we'll most likely see money back from that allowance that could then, ultimately offset this $10,000, $11,000 cost.
Right. From the committee, have any questions on any one of these ATPs? A lot of work went into making sure that they were correct. Mark, do you have comments on anything?
Nope, you covered them.
Okay.
Excuse me, Tom, it's Gerald Foley.
Yes, Gerald.
I just wanted to make an observation on the item number 2, which is the 014. The town's collecting, and I guess the Board of Ed could do the same, is anything that's related to potentially COVID, we're basically capturing it, and we're going to file it with FEMA. So if you want, I'll be happy to take that item number. It's actually a second item on the list, which is 014, and I can give that information to the finance office to see if they can file it.
I would appreciate that, Gerald. Thank you.
Yep. That was it. That was my only comment.
Okay. That was
Thank
a good
you.
comment. Yeah. Not sure we'll get anything back on it, but...
Right, but we'll add it to the list.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions from the committee before I call for a vote? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mark, since I've been talking too much, you can do the OCO.
Yep. This is for OCO 3, which is for ATPs 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And they are OCO, or ATP 4 is for the infrared scanner that was approved at the late August meeting. This is to scan the workers' temperature prior to them stepping on site. And the actual ATP was approved for $41.86. The actual value came in at just over $2,200. ATP 13 was for added angles shelf angles I believe it was at the, I'm going to get this, to hold up the exterior brick in a couple sections.
Okay.
ATP 9 was for the existing storm drain piping at the southeastern addition, which was, this is to tie in an existing storm drain into new storm drainage to get it out of the addition. ATP 10 was a storm drain that I believe needed to be rerouted to avoid a spread footing. And then ATP 12 was to underneath, as part of the existing building, there was a concrete bump out that was in the way of a frost wall, so that had to be demoed. ATP 11 was more brick shelf angles in Part A, and for the waterproofing in Part A, we had damp proofing in the contract documents, but with the groundwater, it was decided that the waterproofing on the foundation versus the damp proofing was the way to go, and that this is the upcharge for that. The actual brick shelf, I believe the brick shelf angles in this description is up in ATP 13.
Okay.
So the total, these are all ATPs that were previously approved. The total for this change order is $22,293, and this is just to memorialize the ATPs that were previously approved.
Okay. Yeah, this is just a formality. I understand that. Okay. We still need to vote on it, though.
Correct.
Yes. So I'll take a motion to approve.
This is Jeremy. I'll make a motion.
Okay. Second? Need a second, folks.
Jason, I'll second it.
Okay. I don't have any comments on this. This is all normal stuff that you have to get approved because you need it. So I have nothing at all to add to this. Most of this was on the water and being sure that we contain the water coming into the school. Any other questions from the committee on these? Not hearing any, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, let's talk very briefly. We have 2 more meetings for this fiscal year, calendar year. One in November, I believe that's the 18th, and then one in December. Given the holidays, that's about all we can fit in. So those are 2 meetings. During those meetings, preferably in November, we'll have to vote for officers, who, by the way, are myself, Melanie and Jason, vice chair, and Heather is our secretary. And if you folks are willing to run again, make sure you let me know. And then for our scheduling, does 6 o'clock work for most people? Do you want to keep it there? What's the feeling of the group?
I'd like to see if we can
Jeremy.
move to a Tuesday, if it's possible.
Tuesday?
I can't hear you, Jason.
I'd like to see if we can move it to a Tuesday if possible.
Okay. But what about the time?
I have no issue with the time. I can't speak for everyone else, but
No.
Time is good for me. It's Melanie.
All right, Melanie. Time's okay? How's Tuesday at 6 o'clock? Sound to most people.
That works for me. This is Jeremy.
Okay. Norm, Heather?
Yep, fine, agreeable.
If they work.
Yeah, I'm probably going to attend most of the time remotely anyway, but.
Okay. Well, with that in mind, give us some thought, Corey. You know, remember, we'll vote on both the officers and the timing and for the next year. Okay. In terms of project update,
Tom, is there sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just curious. Is there a conflict with the Wednesdays? Is that why we're looking to move it?
I have a problem on Wednesdays.
Okay. Understood.
It makes it tough for me. And Melanie, I think, had a problem on Thursdays.
Okay.
So we're
Tuesday
trying to find. Pardon me?
I said Tuesday it is.
Okay. So Tuesday is what we came up with.
I would like to make a comment. If we can make sure our meetings don't interfere with DOE and RTM meetings during those months.
I think that's a great suggestion. And when we put together the schedule, we'll make sure of that. Okay? Because I think you're right.
Well, those meetings start at 7 and 7:30, correct?
Yeah.
Correct, but I think it allows, especially during budget time, if members of the committee want to attend those meetings or if we're using a room, hopefully by then, there won't be any rush to end the meeting to go or if our meetings run late, et cetera.
Again, what we'll probably do is plan for the 2 meetings a month. As you probably realize, we don't hold 2 meetings a month. I believe in holding meetings where we have something to do. And so, hopefully. Yes, hello?
The BOE normally meets on Tuesdays, the second and fourth week of each month at 7:30.
We'll go through that offline. I want to do a project update. Rob, are you there? Rob?
Yep. Hi, Tom.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you again for the pictures that you're sending out to the committee.
You're welcome.
That's a good way of getting us what's going on, and they're well done. So why don't you talk to what we're at right now?
Yep. So in the front of the school at the music edition, we started steel this week. We have the slab on grade place that was done last week. So what we're looking to do is finish up steel next week, and that includes the roof deck, the metal roof deck. And then what we'll be doing there is transitioning over to the exterior framing of the building. So you'll start seeing them put the metal framing on the outside and then sheathe the building by the week of 11/9. In the kindergarten edition, so we're basically prepped and ready with all the underground. We have all the foundation walls and footings complete. So what we're doing is we're fighting the weather a little bit at the end of this week, but we're looking to get the slab on grade completed, which should be the beginning of next week, even with the weather.
Good.
And then what we'll do is we'll transition into the structural steel by Monday, 11/9. We have about 2 weeks of steel, maybe a little less, and then we'll start exterior framing on that portion, on that edition as well. So by the time we reconvene in November, we should be wrapping up the steel on the kindergarten edition, and we should be in the framing on the music edition. Getting close to being wrapped up with the framing, hopefully, or at least, getting to the point where we're putting the sheathing on the outside of the building, and you're starting to see the shape of the building a lot better.
Good. Anything that we could do to help?
Yeah, hope for warm weather, no snow, sunny days.
Okay. Heather, can you take care of that? No, she's not answering.
Taking myself off of mute. Sorry.
Okay. I think that's good. Questions from the committee on our update and project? Anything at all, folks?
Nothing for me. I do appreciate the status updates. Those are helpful with the pictures. It's great.
Yeah, I do too. I get there more often than most, but there still is a good vehicle for to see what's going on. So I appreciate it, Rob. Okay. Anything else from the committee? Because then I'll talk to who's my honorary Harry tonight.
Welcome to it's normal.
I think it goes without saying. In honor of Harry.
Okay.
Hey, Tom. Tom, this is Kevin. I apologize. I was a little bit late. I hit some traffic on the way home. I thought I'd be able to make it. I didn't know if you needed me earlier for any other questions or comments.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. If you're going to feel badly about it, I'll find a reason, Kev. No, we didn't, but thank you for asking.
All right. Just wanted to make sure.
Okay. All right. I have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Thank you all. I appreciate your time. And we'll
Good night, everybody.
Okay,
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, good night. Thank you.
Good night.